All right, what's up, Ego Hackers? Welcome to 2025, and this is going to be the very first video on the CS Joseph YouTube channel that I've done in a long time. I've basically disappeared, and many people are wondering where I am. Even though we have videos that are being posted on YouTube, it's just kind of what's been going on. But yeah, first things first. Right now, we are having one of our biggest sales we've ever had. It's 3 days long. You're basically $600 of courses and master classes just for $197 right now, and that is at csjoseph.life/EHL. And to give a proper example of what that is, I'm just going to walk you guys through this real quick because it's actually very important to this video. The page, csjoseph.life/EHL, but then offers.csjoseph.life/EgoHackingLove. So yeah, this is our landing page. $588 of courses for $197, 3 days only. Check it out. Right now, we have the most groundbreaking course, which is HCT, also known as Human Connectivity Theory, also known as Personality Typing through Cognitive Origins. That's really a big deal. If you don't have this course, honestly, you're not really going to understand Ego Hacking Love very much. These are our two advanced courses. I think Ego Hacking Fear used to be considered advanced, but it's actually more of an intermediate course. These two courses they are definitely our advanced courses that we've had consistently, and it's really critical. One of the biggest problems that we're having within the Ego Hacker community right now is that oftentimes people do not really know just how far forward the science has leapt, and this has caused a lot of problems. And one of the main reasons for that is that people don't know what human connectivity theory is, and that's where we're talking about push and pull energy at the cognitive origin level, but specifically relating to cognitive functions. Because of human connectivity theory, the science has completely changed, and we are having a new understanding. So, for example, a lot of my old work on the CS Joseph YouTube channel is redacted or basically deprecated. What that means is, like, for example, content in season 7, which is Virtue and Vices. It's a nice thing to watch. It can be very uplifting, but it is not. It's not like a hard aspect of the science. It's really not. It's more colloquial, it's more feel good, it's more motivational, and it can be educational for some people, but it's not something that I'm going to be like going all out with the science. Because of this, I'm going to be posting a lot of the older content that we still haven't posted yet on the CS Joseph YouTube channel, but the new content is actually going to start showing up in the Ego Hackers YouTube channel. And what that is that I am going to be reshooting a lot of the old seasons, but with all of the updated content. It's going to be available for early access. We're probably have about 3 seasons of early access content in the school community, which is our paid membership, and that's at school.com/CSJoseph, SKOOL.com/CSJoseph. So you're going to see the newest lectures that will eventually be released in public, but 3 seasons of it posted in school. And they're going to be coming out quite frequently, actually, and they're just going to be posted in the school membership. So if you want early access, get in on that in the school membership. And hopefully we'll get some special thanks for paid school members and get your names actually added to the videos. We're going to be working on that. We're going to be giving shout outs to people who are our schoolers, basically. But the new content, the non-deprecated aspects of the science is going to be on the Ego Hackers YouTube channel, where CS Joseph as a channel is turning into an archive. And then we're going to be releasing a third YouTube channel that's going to be focused on practical application in the future, where it's like, hey, if you look for this particular outcome with your relationships or your social interactions, you only need to know XYZ thing in the science to get this result. And we'll just do one video at a time for that third YouTube channel, but we're not ready there. We're not ready to release that quite yet. It is something that we are working on behind the scenes, okay? Now, but in order to actually be able to propel the ego hacker community, as well as the science of Jungian analytical psychology and the four sides of the mind, we really need to get the entire community of the MBTI blogosphere, especially on YouTube, to be aware of human connectivity theory and ego hacking love as a course. Ego hacking love as a course is very, very definitive. And I'm just gonna kind of note right now, it's like, hey, we have these like testimonials right here, but if you really want to understand the value of what these courses are bringing in people's lives, you really need to read these testimonials. I know it's a lot of just words and whatnot, but for example, this guy is like, I was even able to help a friend fix relationship issues he had been struggling with for over 18 months in just 3 days, etc. And this is as a result of, him having these courses. And it's really, really important to me that this community has this information as soon as possible, because the community right now is very divided between the paid people who buy the courses, who are in the membership, versus the people who are on YouTube. And like, there's this huge knowledge gap, and it's causing a lot of conflict. It's causing a lot of problems within the community, because there are a lot of people who don't understand. And it's really, really becoming a big issue that we've been having. It's creating a lot of conflict. So I'm trying to avoid that. And that's why we came up with this course bundle, to try to get people on the same page. Now, I realize that there are a lot of people who have criticized our school membership. And this is one big criticism that we've had from our customers and our clients, is that, hey, Chase, if I buy a course in school, but then I stop paying for the membership in school, I lose access to that course. Well, our old members portal is not going away. So if you purchased a course previously on our old members portal, which is at csjoseph.life/portal, you can still access the courses there. And HCT and EHL, basically personality typing by cognitive origin, and ego hacking love have been added to that portal. So, for example, if you buy a course in our other portal at csjoseph.life/portal, but then you become a school member, all you have to do is be like, hey, open a ticket, and be like on our support portal, or you can just go into our support Discord server, open a ticket there, and be like, hey, I own this on the old portal. Can you add it to my account on school? And we'll do that for you guys. It's no problem. That way you can have it there. We're going to keep them both updated in both places, because it's been a huge headache to people. And particularly, there's a woman named Rose, and she had a lot of problems related to this, because she got to a point where she couldn't afford to be in the school community anymore, to have access to those courses that she still needed to have access to, that she paid for inside of school. So we decided to fix that problem, and this is basically the solution we came up with to be able to fix that problem. So I apologize for how long this has taken for many of you that have been waiting for this. It's not been, when we are absolutely making it a priority. We're fixing these issues, but human connectivity theory is absolutely critical, because it gives you a new fundamental understanding of cognitive functions. And so, for example, everyone knows Fib. I lived with Fib for almost a year, and one of the things that Fib would bring up is that when it comes to Jungian analytical psychology and the four sides of the mind, he basically said that anything that we do in the science, anything that we develop, anything we pioneer in the science needs to go back to cognitive functions. And the octagram was still kind of in its infancy. We had octagram 3.0 basically came out around that time. But the octagram has been very difficult for us to do. And as a result of me being married to CK, and our 1-year anniversary is in 3 days' time, actually, we being married to CK, she had the discovery about, people having emotions and emotional differences, and how UD men and SD women, in terms of your octograms for cognitive development, basically shows that you are emotionally explosive. And if you're a subconscious developed man and an unconscious developed woman, you're emotionally implosive, right? And then from there, she was able to actually create a personality test. And based on the current data that we have, it's 75% accurate. And we're looking to increase that accuracy. And all it does is just identify cognitive development. Why? The reason why we're investing so much in cognitive development right now is because we realized it is the number one indicator as to whether or not you're going to have a successful or failed relationship. And I say that with a huge amount of shame. One of the things about being C.S. Joseph that really sucks is that I speak with a lot of power and authority in terms of my knowledge of the science. I don't, mistyping people, I've talked about it before, like mistyping people is like insanely dangerous because people make life choices. They make life choices, like choices about their life partner. Women make choices on their life partner literally as a result of my work. And if they make the wrong choice, it could harm their lives. And that's a huge amount of responsibility. And I know many of you, especially in the verified chat in the Ego Hackers Discord server, have been struggling seeing me change people's octograms constantly. And the reason why this is happening is because we've been working so hard with the Brain Trust team and other members of the team, as well as doing field observation of people, that we keep reaching like this law of accelerated returns, where we are constantly innovating and constantly discovering new concepts of the science, so that previous older conclusions that I have made as a result of experimentation, we're realizing that there are new conclusions. This is one of the reasons why in verified chat, I constantly watch everyone in the secret verified chat channel. Like if you get personality typed by me and I do your octogram and your actual type, you get access on the Discord to the verified chat. And once you have access to there, you can be around all the other verified people. But I watch everyone. I constantly read that chat. I read that channel more than anything. And everyone that I've ever verified, I go out of my way to just watch them, because what if I got them wrong? And my TI parent is constantly haunting me about the accuracy of what it is that I'm practicing, what it is I'm preaching when it comes to content that I release, not just on YouTube, but all the paid content as well, and people who spend good money on us to type them, basically. And so while I have this commitment to accuracy, I don't always get it right, but sometimes, I'll shoulder tap someone and be like, I may have gotten your type wrong, let's do another session, and I won't charge them for this. So I often do re-verifications. A lot of people don't realize that like my coaching practice, especially when it comes to psychoanalysis, is it's usually due to like re-verification sessions, just to make sure I got it right and make sure I didn't jump to the wrong conclusions. And it's absolutely critical that we do this. And one of the things that's going to really help people have confidence in the right conclusions is the HCT course, also known as Personality Typing by Cognitive Origins, or How to Type Yourself by Origins, also known as HTTO. It's got like 3 names and it's confusing, and I'm very sorry about that. And then also EgoHacking Love. These courses, I think, are absolutely critical and just need to be in everyone's hands. It's just so critical. Even more important than ego hacking your fear, even more important than ego hacking by text. In fact, How to Type Yourself by Origin, or Personality Typing by Origins, or HCT as a theory itself, literally came as a result of the masterclass for ego hacking by text. And when you have all the courses, you can kind of see how the science has transformed over time. But I just want to make sure that this community understands that I am committed to accuracy, and I'll never stop. If you're not on the Discord server, get on it. It's discord.gg/egohackers. It's absolutely critical. So yeah, and I get that sometimes I can be pretty harsh on the Discord and whatnot, but it's really because I care. Sometimes when you're dealing with, this lost generation or Generation Y, which is the millennials, and then you have the Gen Zers in there, and pretty soon we'll have Alpha Generation in the Discord server. So many people are fatherless, and oftentimes I take upon the role of being like everyone's daddy, everyone's father, basically. And I just kind of act that way, and it can be very off-putting to people, especially people who are fatherless or have absent fathers or don't really know their fathers, or have been conditioned to believe that their fathers are terrible people when in reality they're not. So, and I do stick to my principles and my belief system, and it's just who I am, and I'm very authentic about that in the community, and that's basically as a result of being an unconscious developed male. UD males and SD women are willing to sacrifice harmony for the sake of authenticity, versus subconscious developed men and unconscious developed women are oftentimes willing to sacrifice authenticity for the sake of harmony, right? So yes, the Ego Hackers Discord server is not exactly the most harmonious place. It's more committed to authenticity, and that's why people often claim that it has a very unconscious developed bias towards it, which is true. But that's not to say that there is not a place for subconscious developed people. And honestly, I am committed to recognizing my own psychological prejudice, psychological racism against subconscious developed people. I fully expect people to point out my flaws because I will constantly point out everyone else's flaws on a regular basis. That's just who I am. But the point is, folks, get this bundle, get up to speed on human connectivity theory, get up to speed on ego hacking love, so that we can have the healthiest conversations in our community, be it in the school community or in the Ego Hackers Discord server. That way, I'm able to keep my eye on all of you, and then also continue to correct my mistakes, because by doing so, it actually further develops the science. Now, for those of you who have made poor life choices as a result of my work, well, I understand that it is not my fault, because you are responsible for your own life choices. At the end of the day, I recognize that I still have responsibility based on the influence that I exert into your lives, right? And I know that sometimes, C.S. Joseph can look like a very scary dude, a very scary dude, a very confrontational fellow. And it's just because I'm all about authenticity. But if you're willing to direct message me, I'll have a conversation with you. But if I judge or feel that you're disrespecting me, then I'm not going to treat you so well. I mean, that's just kind of how I work. I go out of my way to make sure that I always have the boundaries of people giving me that respect at all times. And the reason why I feel, and I do feel entitled to that respect, I really do. The reason why is because I see the Ego Hacker community as like my house. It's my roof, my rules, that kind of a thing. And I feed people, and I often feed people and give so much away for free that I am owed that respect, especially in my roof. A lot of people like talking shit about me behind my back, especially on other Discord servers or on Reddit or whatever. That's fine. They can have their freedom of speech. But in my house, there's rules. Oftentimes people see a Discord server and it's like, oh, it's just like any other Discord server. It's just like a gaming community. I can just do whatever I want. But on our server, that's just not the case. We have community rules, and they are enforced regularly. And a lot of people disagree with our rules, but we just don't care, because we're trying to create an environment that really helps with learning. But at the same time, we also have an environment where, for example, Daddy Chase is just going to come out of nowhere and call you out and be authentic and maybe even expose you. But it's always because I care about you. It's not because I'm trying to harm you or embarrass you or bully you, as some people would like to believe. So, but the bottom line is this. I recognize that many of you put me in this very high position in your lives, such that I end up influencing your very important life decisions. That is very humbling. I understand that that comes with a high amount of responsibility. I'm not above reproach, and a lot of people criticize me. And a lot of people don't even realize that if you just DM me and then offer some feedback or criticism, I will take it. Because when someone criticizes me, the first thing that comes to mind is me not lashing out at them. The first thing that comes to mind is, it's like, oh, well, maybe they're right. Maybe they're right. Let's give them their day in court and find out. And oftentimes I agree, and sometimes I disagree. And then sometimes when I disagree, I'm like, no, this isn't true, and I'll explain why and explain my position. But the thing is that if you disagree with my position, offer additional explanation. And then you may be right again, and I'll go through that same process. I'm triple systematic, right? I'll go through that same process of like, okay, well, they might be right about this point. And then I'll go through the entire verification, validation process in my mind with extrinsic validation, also known as pushing validation with my introverted thinking parent, something that you will learn within the human connectivity theory course, also known as personality type by cognitive origin. So yeah, but the point is that like these things are happening, and the ego hacker community is changing. All of my what we're calling first generation content, except for what we have in courses, over time is going to be released on csjoseph, and you're not going to see as much of the new updated content. And in terms of the new updated content, you're going to see it on the Ego Hackers YouTube channel. And it'll all be with the updated current concepts that we have, because we just have to get away from this huge knowledge gap within the community. That being said, the schoolers in school.com/csjoseph and spelled SKOOL in our membership, we'll be releasing the content there first. You'll have early access, and we'll keep at least 3 seasons of content in early access available in our school membership before it is released on YouTube. The first episode dropped last night. It is in there. And then we're going to keep growing that. But the point is that the knowledge gap is harming this community. I'm not going to stand for it anymore. And it's created a lot of confusion such that people are even questioning my ability to know what I'm talking about anymore, because they just are not able to they're just not able to get their attention on all of the new stuff all the time. But also for the school community, we're going to have a new course coming out soon. It's going to be Octogram 4. And Octogram 4 is going to change Octogram 3 by about 60%, essentially. And it's going to be giving you additional tools in terms of how to type Octogram, including a new cognitive development personality test that my wife CK came up with, and we're increasing its accuracy. And the reason why we're doing this is because cognitive development is absolutely, hands down, the absolute most important thing that you need to know. It's even more important than knowing your type. Knowing if you're UD or SD is absolutely critical. And I'll be explaining more of this later, but it's heavily explained within these 2 courses within this bundle. So if you want to get that bundle, it's $588 worth of content for $197 for the next 3 days. It's available at csjoseph.life/EHL. Check it out. Please get the course. Please add to the conversations that we're having on Discord and also in the school community, and just get really, really educated about these concepts. And then slowly over time, the content that is within those courses will be like pieced out slowly on the Ego Hackers YouTube channel. But those courses are where all of the knowledge is going to be in one place, and it's just the fastest way for you to get up to speed with those advanced courses so that you're not left behind. So yeah, it's just really something that I just needed to talk about, because I get that we're like, yeah, this is kind of like a sales video, whatever, it's very salesy, but there's a reason behind the sale, and it's basically to try to get rid of this knowledge gap. And I'm also here to say, like, the content that I'm releasing is being changed, and it's being changed fundamentally. And we're basically working hard to increase the integrity of the science and the integrity of the content. Also, I would like to say that we've been working with AI a lot relating to 4 sides of the mind and Jungian analytical psychology. And we are starting to basically build the stats as well as our argument to prove the existence of Jungian analytical psychology according to our perspective with empirical data that proves that yes, these things are real, okay? Because the AIs are able to pick up a pattern, they see the pattern, they know it's there, and we can produce statistical analysis about it. and that's going to be coming in the future, especially after UCHA 5 comes out, because UCHA is being completely revamped with all of these changes. And the reason why is because when it comes to personality and who you are as a person, like your soul, basically, we realize that there's 3 layers. The first layer, like when you're conceived inside of your mother, basically, and you're implanted or whatever, you have your gender, right? X or Y chromosome, right? That's your gender. That's the first thing. And then, like, you have your genome, but you have your psychological genome, which is your nature. That's your personality type. But their personality type will develop and focus, and it will adjust itself over time as you grow, and that's your nurture. And the nurture is like your epigenetic genome, for those of you who are familiar with epigenetics. And these things are just really critical to know, to the point where you as a person are actually your nurture, that it exists within the box or the boundaries of your nature. Your nature is like a basic template of your total potential, like your genetic potential, but your epigenetics, your nurture, your octogram within that box is basically who you are as a person. And the science is being structured around that entire concept, and that's what we're going to be moving forward with. This will end up increasing accuracy. My goal is with UCHA 5 is to get the personality test to a point where it'll be entirely unnecessary to hire me to personality type anyone. We're going to get that test. We are committed to have that test be data driven to a point where nobody, when they go to ucha.app, where nobody will have to really hire me anymore, because the test is just that accurate. That's our hope and desire to do that. And that's what we on the team are actually looking to accomplish. So lots of new stuff coming, lots of good things coming, but that is ultimately the direction that we are taking this community and the content. I know I haven't been around a lot recently. I've been spending a lot of time growing, changing, reflecting, and I think overall it is for the better. Being married to CK has helped me learn a lot about myself, learn a lot about her, because we're basically in the apex relationship. The apex relationship is basically 2 unconscious developed people in a sexual relationship, but they're also a natural pair. And currently we believe that the apex relationship within the subconscious developed realm is actually the golden pair. So subconscious developed couples, in my opinion, would probably be better suited to invest in a golden pair versus unconscious developed couples would be better suited to invest in a natural pair. And this is discussed within EgoHacking Love. It's just an interesting tidbit. So, but anyway, that's basically about it in terms of what I had to present to the community this evening. And I just wanted to make that very clear as to where I'm at right now and kind of the direction of the science and the future of the science that we're going. We have a bright future ahead of us, but I need all of you folks to help me build that and move it forward. And again, like I said, for those of you who feel misunderstood by me or not seen by me, I apologize. Come to me. I'll be happy to have that discussion with you. And I'm always committed to just keeping watch you folks if you are in the school community or the Ego Hackers Discord server, so that we can make adjustments just in case. We're hopefully going to be able to adjust some of the roles in the Discord server to the point where you'll actually, like, you'll get your verified type from me, but then you'll actually be able to take a role where you say, like, well, I agree with Chase or I disagree, right? And I think this will help a lot of people in the community to reach a higher level of discussion and understanding with fellow members. That way they can at least say, you know, because one of the drama things that we had is that people did not like that we were forcing them to take, you know, the tags that represent my professional opinion. And what we are doing is like, yes, you're still going to have that tag, but at least you have another role that says, well, I actually disagree with Chase about this. And that will lead to very healthy discussion on the Discord server. I think that is a very important innovation that we're going to be releasing in the very near future. So yeah. But anyway, folks, thanks for watching and listening. Like and subscribe. I'm just letting you know that we're still here and we're still moving forward with the science. And yeah, if you want to get the course bundle, csjoseph.life, EgoHacking.life/EHL, or offers.csjoseph.life/EgoHackingLove. And then the 2 advanced courses that we've ever produced, my best work ever. And if you don't believe me, just check out the testimonials that we have of people who already have the courses on the landing page. You'll see that there. But yeah, so I think now I'm going to open up Q&A right now for everyone who's joined us here. And CK will ask your questions, but folks, please keep it relevant to things that I've said just for this video, and we'll kind of go from there. Like, if you're not familiar with the Ego Hacker point of view particularly yet, when you become a school member, we have something called the Success Path, and it literally just tells you what to do for yourself and for your type, so you can get educated the fastest. It'll even tell you which of the public content to watch, which of the private content to watch, and in order. That way you just have like this fast track of getting to where you need to go. And that's been great. I kind of need to probably finish putting some of the links in that and kind of shoring that up a little bit. But yes. But yeah. So cool. All right. Question. What if I'm an SD relationship with a natural pair? Not the ideal relationship. That's not to say it's not the ideal. The apex relationship basically is, all it means to say is that it has the lowest chance for failure. That's not to say that the natural pair is not very good to invest in as a subconscious developed person, okay? So the reason why is because, again, cognitive development is the most important thing for you to know from a relationship perspective. Because here's the thing. If you take the 8 sexually compatible relationships, from golden pair all the way down to the kindred, the 8 sexually compatible relationships, if you have the same cognitive development, if you just give it time, the relationship will work out. You just have to give it time. You just have to not give up. Now, sure, the natural pair for subconscious developed couples is the number 2 relationship in that ranking system. The thing is, though, it's not, you may have to put in a little bit more time investment into that relationship. But the thing is that it will still pay dividends for a very good, healthy, great long-term relationship anyway, especially because both of you within this couple this coupling have the same cognitive development. So don't worry about that. Again, cognitive development is the most important thing, and you can put a lot of hope into cognitive development, giving you basically a foundation from which you can have a great relationship, a great long-term relationship with your spouse, partner, lover, wife, husband, etc. Basically. Is there anything in the courses or elsewhere about where one might find each type? For example, if I should be in a relationship with an SD ENTP, where is the likely place to find them? Yes, we have that information in Ego Hacking Love. I do touch on it, so yes, it is in there. Someone told me earlier, okay, no. So very good. That was a great question. Any other questions? So, Ursan asks, is Ego Hacking Love content applicable to interpersonal relationships in general, not just sexual and romantic? It can be, but to a point, because understanding gender dynamics is important, because if you are in a social situation or a work situation with members of the opposite sex, the sexual agenda is always present, regardless of age. It doesn't matter, regardless of relationship status. It doesn't matter. The sexual agenda is always present. And knowing how that works and how that can influence a social situation or a workplace situation is critical. And I do touch on that in Ego Hacking Love as well. Knowing that, should I keep my wife at home because the sexual relationships are always present? No, it's the sexual agenda is different. No, like, just trust your woman. Just trust your woman. You know, like, be devoted to your woman. Take care of her needs, emotions, desires, and problems. Let her reciprocate to you. But if she's a subconscious developed woman, she's more likely to have a career over an unconscious developed woman. Unconscious developed women prefer to be the stay-at-home mom, stay-at-home wife, housewife kind of a thing, whereas the subconscious developed women generally have a preference to career. Now, there's a lot of cultural conditioning that goes behind that, but in general, that just seems to be the preference. And, you know, when it just comes down to your relationship, stop being paranoid and just trust. Just choose to trust. Do you love them or not? And if you do love them, then you should trust them, basically. Just do that. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I'm not a lot of things. Thank you. Um, so yeah. Anyway, looks like our questions have finished, and that's pretty cool. But yeah, folks, thanks for watching, and thanks for being really supportive of me and my family throughout the years. March 14th marks our 7th year anniversary, basically, for this movement. So, and we're still kicking and we're still moving forward. I know it's kind of seemingly pathetic that I only have 60,000 subscribers for 7 years, but at the end of the day, I really just don't give a shit about fame. To me, I think fame is cancerous anyway. So I like having a quiet life, but I also like telling the truth and trying to bring an end to fatherlessness, as it is written in Malachi chapter 4, verses 5 and 6. So, yeah. All right. Well, with all that being said, thank you all, and I'll see you guys on the next episode. Later.